time. It's that time again, isn't it? To make one of these videos where I talk about the increasing madness that is going on in relation to this social and political persecution of me, Stephen Bell, which is done by a conglomerate of intelligence agencies and states who are running a global social engineering and intelligence operation, aka the program, in which they are using really advanced technologies like synthetic telepathy and the creation of virtual movie fabrications that are being broadcasted all over the world. And they are literally using these communication systems to run PSYOPs against the people, supposedly about me, Stephen Bell. And it is no joke, this situation has literally been going on since 2008 at some point, and since then the situation, the intensiveness has only increased many folds over for each year that has gone past in the program. So here in 2022, middle of June, there is literally nothing that this conglomerate of intelligence agencies and states are not willing to do. So they are using their might and their state powers to literally destroy every aspect of my life, and they are really always attacking my image and reputation towards the people. And you would have thought 14 years of endless PSYOPs, endless demonizations, endless character assassinations and ridicule that has been perpetuated in all of these years, in which I am always being one of these things that I have just mentioned, you would think that would be enough. But obviously they don't want the situation to end or conclude in any way. They want status quo to continue, or indeed they want more and more and more. So they're not satisfied with the power and control that they are achieving over the public through this program at any given time. They always want more power and control to dictate and micromanage the public. And that's what they are doing through the program. They are dictating and micromanaging over the population, and to such an extent that they are on a daily basis feeding the population with propaganda narratives and PSYOPs in which they tell people what to think, believe, and what not to believe in. And anybody who is deviating from the programs and the government's narratives are frowned upon heavily, and they will literally attack people, not physically, but through the same kind of PSYOPs and soft power that everybody has become very familiar with. They will attack anybody who they suspect are not following to the degree, or even to the degree that they want. So if you have your own mind about something, that could be if you want proof to believe that I'm some kind of rampant sex criminal who is just the most the baddest thing since Hitler, if you ask for evidence to substantiate those claims that are constantly made by this conglomerate, they will heavily attack any people who they suspect of not believing this bullshit. And it is to such an extent that I see it all the time, because despite being in this situation that I find myself in, being the so-called protagonist of a global social engineering and intelligence operation primarily run by the United States government and its intelligence agencies, I'm still trying to get the best out of my life as much as possible. And so I'm seen by a lot of people on a regular basis, because I not only drive about and do what I want as it relates going on my motorbike, or trying to grow my little small business which all the things they are trying to sabotage. I also go to boxing and kickboxing, so I'm amongst other people on a regular basis. And if these people do not follow what is being communicated through the program synthetic telepathy, these people often find themselves being the targets or being implicated in one of these propaganda campaigns that are being waged. So this happens quite regularly when people get to know me in real life, and they understand that so many things that are being proclaimed about me simply cannot be true because of my real life, my real person it just doesn't fit. The narrative doesn't fit reality, no matter how much they try to arbitrarily change the language or make all kinds of stupid games that somehow should substantiate their claims because I have done 10 sit-ups or push-ups or whatever. You know, these arbitrary games that they keep on playing. So there are so many things that obviously don't make sense, and if people are not willing to do what is being communicated through synthetic telepathy by the intelligence agency who are running these campaigns, then these people will often be featured in the program's propaganda campaigns, and they will be shown in a not very favorable light, let's put it that way. And that's on top of everything that they are also always trying to create all kinds of conflicts between me and everybody else, and they're always trying to have me kicked out of the gym. And there are some people who are inclined to have me kicked out, and there are other people who are not so inclined and who don't see a genuine reason for me to be kicked out of a gym because I haven't done anything wrong. And these endless accusations that I'm always being demonized and ridiculed with, they're not actually material. There aren't any real cases in reality. There aren't any victims. There aren't any indictments. There aren't any judgments. It's propaganda. It's virtual movie fabrications, and it's never-ending talk radio that is being endlessly repeated. And obviously, anybody by now with a critical thinking skills understand this has nothing to do with me having done something or not. It's all to do about governments who are misusing this situation to gain more power and control over the public, and therefore they're not willing to let go of it. Old driver here, and as I say, they're not willing to let go of it, and that's because they are achieving what they want, and they're not achieving what they want in regards to me personally, because as you probably have noticed, despite being in this situation, I'm still achieving something every year. For example, this year, 2022, I had my first boxing match. That was one thing as I had set as a goal. I got my motorbike driving license. That's one of the things I set as a goal. Then I got a motorbike. That's one more thing that I set as a goal. And yeah, so, and my business, One Stop Engine Shop, has also grown, and that is something that gives me the opportunity to achieve even more things, because I'm able to earn a little bit of money, even though that I'm so heavily sabotaged, and they are putting so many restrictions on people buying my scooters, engines and parts, and that's on top of them always running some kind of campaign claiming that my engines don't work, or that is my scooters don't work, even though even though sometimes I have a look at one of my engines that a customer bought of me, and majority of the time it's something, it's not my fault. It's something to do with the customer's scooter, or they don't know how to or they're quite novices in wrenching on things. So there are small little things that are causing them problems that really shouldn't cause them problems, like having fuel in the carburetor and therefore not having fuel in the carburetor and therefore not being able to start the bike, or having depleted the battery and therefore thinking that the electricity on the scooter doesn't work. You know, these kind of things that are a novice who have only just started, if you will, their career with scooters or motorbikes. So they're novices. They don't know how things quite work yet, and that's obviously something that they are going to learn. But in the meantime, I'm getting blamed for some of these things that are clearly not my fault, and it's clearly just being used by the government as a pretext to run these campaigns against me and my small business. And that's one more thing that is going on continuously. So you see, I have things are so completely out of control, and there's literally nothing in my life that is not being attempted, sabotaged and attacked by this conglomerate of states and intelligence agencies.